Our dad had told us once that we could not make a living killing geese in fields. And I don't know if that's because he never really field hunted. He always was hunting on water. When we started this, we wasn't looking at a lifetime job. We was just looking at being able to afford to go hunting. And then after about the second season, then it became a reality of what we had accomplished and what we have ahead of us, the potential of what it could be.
You're gonna laugh at this. When I was in 7th grade, I wrote a paper in school and told them I wanted to be a hunting outfitter. Hunting outfitter or a forest ranger. God, I'm glad I didn't take that other job. I didn't ever know what I was gonna do. I was going to college just to go have fun and meet girls. I wasn't going to get education to move my future. I really did not know what I wanted to do. This fell into my deal. I was passionate. I've always loved hunting. I've always talked about hunting. It's always something I wanted to do, but no. If you'd have told me 30 years ago, 2 kids that grew up in a trailer park in Wichita Falls that shared a room because they were poor would get to do what we've done for our life, no, I'm so blessed. Stanfield Hunting Outfitters was really an idea of both Jeff and I. We hunted on a place that was getting leased from us that we couldn't afford to pay the lease, and the guy came to us and we had to do something to be able to raise the money to hunt there. So our decision was kind of a mutual deal. Jeff likes to take credit for everything, but that's how Jeff is. So we decided to run an ad in the paper in guide hunts, and this is where we're at. Try to keep them off the peanuts because the peanuts, once they eat the peanuts, there's nothing left in the field to hunt. So we got to preserve our peanuts. So once they start digging, and especially the last 2 years, we've had dry years. Later in the year, they're still digging and harvesting while we're doing it. So what we do is we go to that to keep the birds off. And the problem we have is goose season starts about 3 weeks after the geese get here. So when our peanuts get dug, we don't want the geese eating all of the food. We have a calendar birds October 15th. So what I've done is I made 26 of these. I got my own little flock, and I'll go spread them out in different peanut fields, and they keep the birds away. They work for about a week or so. And they don't do bad. I think one of them's got goose shit on them. Well, I've noticed some of our farmers have got my decoys in their fields now. Yeah. So they work.
When I was a kid, during Christmas, the guides would all go home, just like they do now. But I would beg Jeff to book a hunt for the 23rd or 24th of December, or the 26th of December, because there were no guides here. And I could do it all on my own. And Ron would be my chauffeur. We would hook up to a trailer in the back. We would meet 4 or 5 guys in town, meet them at Allsup's, and Ron would drive us to the field, and Ron loved goose hunting. He was the pheasant guide, but his first passion was duck and goose hunting. We would set out a spread. We'd have 4 or 5 guys with us, and I always wanted to be the guy that called the shot. I'd be like, when we would start pulling up to the field, I'd be like, Ron, I'm calling the shot. You just tell me when. So I would sit next to Ron. We would be working geese. Ron could not blow a goose call to save his life, but he could flag. And then when the birds got close enough, Ron would say, okay, Andy, call the shot. And then I would get to yell, kill them or take them or whatever. And for a 12 or 13-year-old, I was just over the moon doing that.
In the past 30 years, when we started, our hunting has changed drastically. We used to hunt the wheat fields. We'd have a four-wheeler that we'd have to take in and out of the field. We had 4 rigs that had four-wheelers and trailers. So every person basically had a four-wheeler that was responsible for. And we would go set our decoys out, and we would just lay on top of the ground. We'd give it a little pillow or put a shell under your head on the wheat, and we put a blanket on top of you and hunt it under the blanket. And then we had some 747 decoys is what we called them. They were super magnum shell decoys that had eye holes cut in them, and that's what you'd put over the top of your head.
Decoys right here, this is how we did. This was our blinds. Them were our blinds right there. We would lay underneath them. We would have holes drilled in the top of them, and you'd lay on your back, and you'd have. And I saw somebody posted this on Facebook the other day. Go, could you believe people actually hunt over them? I said, yeah. If you knew how many fucking geese we killed over these, you'd be shocked. There. That's what you'd lay in here, just like this in the hole. Take your hands, go like this. I was on a hunt with Dave Reese one time. No, I was not. I lied. It was way before Dave Reese. It would have been, shit, I don't even know, Brian Sullivan maybe. And I had a goose land on my freaking board. Landed on my board while I'm sitting here looking at it, and I could touch him almost. Tony touched a widgeon one time flying by, but it was just, this was how we hit. That was back in the day, you know. That's before we started really digging in, and then once we dug in, we really used these. But that's how we hid when I first started business. Me and Tony, that's the way we hid. Green cornfield camo.
We have that blanket out there that you'd lay under.
I don't even think you can get that anymore.
You put your decoys around you.
We took a guided trip. Dad was with us, and we hunted over this. Is what we hunted over.
That was our original spread right there. Right there. You throw them with those 747s.
Yeah, and maybe had 8 dozen of those, and a dozen 747s, and we would take these decoys right here. And anyways, we were trying to figure out how to hide. The peanut fields couldn't hide, and back then they had shittier farming practices, and I wish they still had them again. But there would be a pile of peanut stubble in the fields. And so Dad was there, and I was trying to hide. The birds were kind of flaring off of him. I was like, damn it, Dad, you got to hide better. And I took a bunch of straw, and I threw it in his face. Like, baby, you can't throw straw in people's face and expect them to pay you to hunt. That'll shit on that. This ain't ever going to work, blah, blah, blah. Well, he invented the hole, and then we started hiding in the hole with the decoys. But
didn't he have old fireman?
Yeah, red fireman boots that were shining and stuff. Looked like Santa Claus laying out there. And then these were our first full-body decoys right here. This was the, I think they were carry lights, aren't they? Those things are probably 25, 26, 27 years old.
Got a dirt dauber's nest in it.
That was an old, yeah. And then we had these two. These are the bigger ones. These are the big money ones right there.
The bigger one's got to be better.
I think those dirt dauber stuff.
30 years worth of dirt daubers.
And now you look at us, we got bags and bags of dive bomb decoys. We got Lucky Duck. We got
been lots of birds killed over them decoys right there.
Yep, lots of birds.
Then we started in the peanuts where we'd dig a lot of a body trench. 2 shovels wide, 2 shovels deep, the length of your body, make you a nice back to it, and it would be like sitting in a recliner. Put a board over your legs, cover it with peanut stubble, put shells and silhouettes around that, and we'd hunt right in the holes. Now we've evolved to where we're hunting out of A-frame blinds. I used to enjoy hunting out of the holes because it was comfortable. If the hunt was tough, you'd slide under there, and heck, it was so comfy you could take a nap if you needed to.
Jessica Crane from Knox City, Texas. I help Michelle in the kitchen, prep food and clean, and I keep up with the sweatshirts and t-shirts. So when I'm not here at Stanfield's, I am chasing 3 kids with all their athletics. Basketball, we're in basketball season now. My son is still in football. Going to stay at AT&T Stadium. And then I have a little one that's in junior high is also in basketball, so I'm pretty busy, always on the road following them. My favorite thing to cook is mole, chicken mole. Mole is some boiled chicken with a Mexican red sauce. It's kind of spicy. You can either cook it with peanut butter or chocolate. I like to do chocolate.
It's funny hearing guys now whenever they have a string of afternoon hunts or something, they're like, oh, I'm fucking tired, or whatever the case may be. I've been there, I've done it. I've I've dug 1,000,000 holes out here. And so it's always funny seeing the new generation and the things that they kind of have a burr in their hide about. Because it's like, I've fucking done it, bud. Got the t-shirt. My level of sympathy for the new guides is down here, because compared to the early days when it was just me and a couple other guys, like, there's 8 of us out here. There's plenty of hands to make sure that this shit goes off without a hitch. Talk to me 15 years ago when it was 3 of us doing it all. Because, you know, then you might be a little bit tired. Everybody gets a nap now. It's part, I mean, you come in from your morning hunt, you scout at 4, you got that 12 to 4 to dick off and go take a sleep, call your girlfriend or whatever. Talk to me when you've been doing this for 2 months straight. You know, like I said, you're feeding your dog in the Walmart parking lot because that's the only time that you got to feed your dog. Then I'll have some sympathy for you. Plus all of our equipment's new. Like, we've got the best equipment ever. We've got brand new Lucky Duck A-frames, we've got plenty of dive bombs, we've got spinners. Back in the early days, we were fighting over who was gonna take the newest fucking plastic tub. Who was gonna get a trailer full of those? That's what we were fighting over. Who was gonna get the new shovel? Who was gonna get some boards?
Fought over that tub right there.
That's what we fought over right there.
That was primo.
Who had the best well-made tub?
God, I bought a bunch of tubs over the years. All the time. Tubs,
Like this.
So what would happen is everybody would overfill them, because you were also, not only were you in a race for the best tub, you could go down to the guy's trailer the night before the hunt and take like half a dozen or maybe a dozen out of the bin and put it in your tub, because everybody had open trailers back then. So not only were you in a race for a whole tub, but you were in the race for a full tub also. And what you would do is you would overstuff your tub and then it would start to break. So your big weak points are like right here, here on the handles where guys grab when it's 6-7 degrees outside. Yeah, right there is where they start going out. So they just start to disintegrate, and then you'd have to buy new tubs, and it was all because everybody overstuffed their tubs the night before because they were trying to get as many decoys out as they could. Now we got all the decoys we want. Everybody's got plenty of equipment. The fucking spinner, are you kidding me? I'd have killed to have a spinner 10 years ago. Now I've got however many I want. But that's what's been fun to see as we have progressed through this is, like, we're lucky out here. We get to hunt with the best equipment, top-notch equipment, Boss shot shells, you know, Lucky Duck spinners and blinds, dive bomb silhouettes. All the equipment we have out here is top-notch. And that's what's been fun, is kind of seeing how everything has changed. Because like I said, 15 years ago, we were fighting over who got the trailer full of new tubs that we weren't gonna have to carry over our shoulder, that we could actually like carry like a regular person. You know, I don't have a whole lot of sympathy when people start bitching about things being tough.
Going hunting. Ready to shoot birds.
If my boys are happy, I would love to see them do this. If this is not what they want to do, and they want to go save the world some other way, I will fully support that. You have to have the passion first. If you don't have the passion to do this, you're not going to do it. And if they are passionate enough that they think that they want to make this a career, I would love to see that. But this is also something that you do have to have a deep, morbid love for waterfowl hunting, that if you don't have it, it's gonna make for a long couple of months. You know, it's the end of January and I'm tired and I love what I do. And I realize that I am very lucky to do what I do. And if they don't have the passion, then they can by all means do something else. So as long as they find meaning in whatever they do, then I will support them.
You bought apples and the toy you like.
What? Yeah, you better hide. You better hide
mama. My mama's still a booger butt.
Well, we got Dad!
Can I have five? Can I have five?
Would I see my boys taking this over? That's very interesting because they're still very little. Yes, I would want somebody to, because that's the fun part of a family business, is handing it down, but they're still very young, so it's very interesting to see who would be the one that would want to do that. I think Reese would be my business person. He's very by the book, do what you tell him. Jameson, I think, would be the risk taker, spread his wings, expand, experiment. Yeah, I would most definitely want them to. If they didn't want to, that'd be fine too. But guess we'll find that out.
30 years ago, I got the shit into every deal.
Literally.
I did. Wake up at 3:15, cook breakfast, wake deer hunters up at 5 and take the deer hunters out. Go up at lunch and fix septic tanks. 3:30, pick the daughter up from school. 4 o'clock, take deer hunters out. 5 o'clock, grill steaks. There's nothing really I could see myself doing. Now, don't get me wrong, there's times that it wouldn't be bad to work at Home Depot or Lowe's, an 8 to 5 job. But I think about that every once in a while when I get up at 3:15 in the morning. But when hunting season's over and I've got weekends 5 months in a row that I can go do stuff with and create my own hours, it's actually not a bad gig. I mean, just think, Stanfield Hunting Outfitters and the Big Honker Lodge is a hunting lodge that people actually pay us to take them hunting. Who wouldn't want a job like that? It's a dream job. Yes, we basically run a restaurant, a hotel, and a guide service, and there's a lot of shit that goes on behind the scenes, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't change it for anything.
Pretty fun ride, huh? Beats real having a real job,
It's been fast. It is real.
No, but it's not a real job.
No, it really is not. It's not. It's more like a family get-together all the time.
With a bunch of fuckers sometimes you wish weren't here.
Well, same as our kids.
That's right.
Sometimes, I mean, sometimes we wish they weren't our kids. And this is it. I mean, it's just like, honest to God, having our kids over every single day, you know, for lunch and dinner, and you just talk about.
It's a different family. It's an extension of our family.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not like work. It's just like our kids are here and we're feeding them. And then we've got some people out there that also, aunts and uncles, or more uncles, are out there.
We were way out
We're
there.
feeding them. It's just like a big family get-together all the time.
Compared to the average person in the world, we're 99% blessed.
Well, yeah.
I mean, people got a whole lot more
I would
money, a lot
not.
more blessings, but to get to do what we enjoy doing and be around the people we like and love, pretty lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, I think my dad, when he died, knowing he was going to die, he knew things were really good. And he, you know, he was with us from the very start. He didn't ever own the business. He just was here with us. But it was something he was proud of. And I know that he was really proud of the way things are going, and he was so happy Andy was involved. And he got to, you know, I think about that with my dad all the time. He stayed out here, and I used to get on to him all the time. He'd come in the office. I'd be like, Dad, you know, want to come in there and watch TV and visit. And I was like, don't you go to the other room or go to your house or whatever, you know, the social. No, I just want to be here with y'all. And as I'm getting older, I realized that, man, that's lucky as hell. To get to be around your kids and your grandkids and your great-grandkids around something you love, that's the best thing in the world. Most people don't get that stuff.